Well, hello everyone. Welcome to video number 86. We are on video number 86 today. Can you believe it? Of Elsie Lincoln Benedict's book, How to Get Anything You Want. We are on the last lesson, lesson number 7, how to make your desires materialize. How to make your desires materialize. We've been through this whole book together. If you missed any of the previous videos, they are on the playlist, the epic playlist here. And we're on the last few pages, y'all. I've had such a pleasure running through all of these videos, these lessons with you, and sharing the metaphors, the great metaphors that this lady has right here. There she is, Elsie herself. I'm just making sure that this is video number 86. Yeah, because yesterday was video number 85. So we are rocking and rolling. Let's read a little bit today. We left off on what seems to be the very unfair law, universal law, that when somebody has, the more they're given. And when somebody does not have, everything is taken away from them. Anything that they get is taken away from them. The man with a library so big he doesn't have a chance to read half of his books is the one to whom we present rare volumes, while he who has none gets none. So the person with a library with so many books, more than he can ever even read, people want to give him more books, rare copies even. But somebody who doesn't even have one book, he doesn't get any books. I was talking about the, influencers on social media, how they have huge followings and they have so many deals and brand deals and get a lot of money, and then they are given so much free stuff. It's like the swag bags. When you see celebrities, they're already what we see rich and famous, and then they just get bags of free stuff. It's like, to the outer eye, it's like, that's not fair. That's not fair. Give it to people who really need it. But that's not the way the universal law works. It's not personal. It can seem very cold to our conscious thinking mind, our human mind. But if we don't get with the program and start with the universal laws and working with them, we can just stay mad forever and judge it. And then we will not be working with the law. We will be working against it and stay broken sick. That's what it is. Whether it be inside or outside, just broke inside, poor mentally, poor physically, poor in relationally, or monetarily as well, and sick in any of those areas too. The people who are surrounded by love, whom everyone loves, are the ones who also love, while those without it are ostracized. This is all true, you say, but how is one to get started in the right direction? How do we get into the right direction? If we feel lack, if we feel like things aren't working out for us, how can we turn into the stream of everything being given to us? How do I turn into the right direction? Especially when, as you say, the whole world is busy helping us downgrade already. The answer is change the cause, and you also change the effect. That's where we left off yesterday. Change the cause, and the effect will change. What is cause? What is causing all of this? What is causing all of our results in life? Our thoughts. If we change our thoughts, we change our life. It truly is that simple, but it's not easy because we have 60 to 100,000 thoughts a day. Intrusive thoughts even. Woo, so many thoughts coming at us from every direction. But Carla, I can't control my thoughts. You're right, you can't. But you can manage them. You can regulate them. The moment you realize, and it's not even, we don't catch the thoughts. They happen so fast. We feel the emotion that the thought is causing. It's usually an unconscious thought. The moment you feel yourself in any way disturbed or bothered or irritated or frustrated, what am I thinking? What just happened? How am I looking at this that is causing this resistance within me? There might very well be something outside that is extremely frustrating and not right. However, how can you think about it in a different way? Be normal. Take the steps you need. Call the police. Have boundaries, right? Don't entertain people who are rude or abusive. But how are you thinking about it? This is the truth. This is why I love A Course in Miracles. We don't have to hate people. People can be very obnoxious, very evil, but we don't have to hate them. We can have boundaries. We can call the police. We can put them in jail, but we don't have to hate them. Because at the end of the day, if we truly believe that we are one, we're one. If you want to be whole, you want to be one, you want to be holy, you want to be enlightened, If you accept this idea of oneness as opposed to duality and two-ness that keeps us separated, we're one with everyone. Are you willing to be one with the mass murderer? That's the hardest part. Most people will say no. Well, then what are we talking about? We're going to be enlightened because that's what it takes. If you look at masters like Jesus, Jesus loved everybody. Okay. That's not easy to do. That's why we don't do it. Right? We can love our family and people we like and people who behave. But when it comes to people who irk us in any way, forget them. They're not in my circle. Well, we're never going to achieve enlightenment. It depends on your goal. Maybe that's not your goal for enlightenment and oneness. Fair enough, right? I get it. So, but ultimately, like, what are your values? Do you want to be at peace? Do you want to love everyone regardless? Again, you don't have to, you know, move your values and do things that you don't want to do. But this is about in your mind. How are you thinking about other people? And it is the most challenging work that any of us can go through. Example, there like places I used to work, people that I did not care to work with. It was just really difficult to work with them. It brought me a lot of resistance, a lot of frustration, a lot of judgment came up in me. It was very triggering, right? But I also saw, okay, well, if you're being triggered, Carla, they're just a spoon bringing up within you already. So I take full responsibility. But it didn't take away the fact that I was totally triggered around them. I did my work. Okay, what is it in them that I'm seeing in me that's being triggered? Okay, I understood that, did my work on it. I still don't want to be around them. I still don't want to be around them just because you do the work. And this is what I used to think. I'll know when I'm healed or when I've done the work, when I can be around them and be at peace. And now I understand what is being triggered in me. I deal with it in myself. And I don't ever have to be around that person ever again if I don't prefer to be. It's just a preference. It's not because I hate them. It's not because they're bad and I'm good or they have this. No, I recognize it in myself too. However, I have preferences. I have choices. I won't demand them and I won't deny them, but I will go for my preference. If I don't prefer somebody, it doesn't mean I have to hate them. Like certain colors, certain foods, I don't prefer that. I'm not going to be like, I have to love every single food. No, we're not going to like everybody and everyone's not going to like us. So we can have our preferences and don't feel guilty about it. Anyways, I say all that to say, I used to work with people, really bothered me, blah, blah, blah. I do this work enough to know, okay, Carlo, if you spot it, you got it. There's something in you that you're just like them, clearly. Something you're denying in yourself or something you're ashamed of or whatever, or that bothers you or whatever. The work is always with me. But I don't have to villainize them. I don't have to hate them and talk crap about them. I just say, you know what? They're a good person somewhere, right? I don't see it, but I'm trusting. I'm willing to see them differently. And I also don't have to be around them. I just don't work well with them. Or maybe I get along with somebody as a friend, but I'm not a good coworker with them. I just don't like the way they work. I don't like the way they operate. This is a game changer. So it's like you might not work well with most people, but you love them as a person. And so to separate your judgment of how they do things, because who am I to say what's the right way to do things? I know how I like to do things. Maybe they like to do things a different way. That's what makes the world beautiful. We all work together. But sometimes you don't work well with people. It's like if you've ever been with someone and you truly love them, but you don't make a good couple. That is one of the hardest things, and wisdom and experience shows. You can love someone. You can truly love someone, but you don't mesh well together as a couple, as a romantic relationship. You don't have to hate someone to break up with them. Like, well, you guys loved each other. Why can't it work out? We just don't work well together as a couple. It doesn't work. I still love them, but it's not supposed to be. And that's the hardest part, to really be wise enough to say, you know what, I love you and we need to walk away from this. So yeah, that was a tangent. Anyways, so change the cause and you change the effect. Your present condition, as pointed out in the previous lessons, is the natural and inevitable outgrowth of the attitudes and feelings harbored in your subconscious mind, in your heart of hearts, in your emotions. So the thoughts we continue to think continue to give us certain patterns of emotion. And then that becomes our vibration. That becomes our baseline. Our vibration is just our emotional state. And whatever vibration we're giving off of, the energy that we're in, the emotions and the moods, that goes out and it comes back. It brings back to us. That's the law of attraction. So law of vibration is the primary law. Law of attraction is just the result. So think about cause is our emotions and effect is the result we get, what we attract to us. But it all starts with thought. So that's the ultimate cause. Most people, okay, your present condition, think about your present condition in any area of life, whether it be relationships, money, career, health, and mental, physical, emotional health. Your present condition is the natural and inevitable outgrowth of the attitude and feelings harbored in your subconscious mind. Most people secretly cherish the delusion that this is not a law-ruled universe and that somehow they can be able to get something for nothing. Let's listen to that. Most people secretly cherish the delusion we truly do think that we are the exception to the rules and the laws of the universe, that we're special and we can get away with stuff energetically. Most people secretly cherish the delusion that this is not a law-ruled universe. That's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I'm a good person. Good things are going to happen to me. That's not how it works. And that somehow they will be able to get something for nothing. Well, I had a really bad childhood, so something good is going to happen for sure. I'm going to be paid back for all the pain I've been through. No, that's not how it works. That goes into this whole toxic mindset of sacrifice and pain and suffering equals good things. That suffer, sacrifice, poverty is virtuous, and we will get paid back. If not in this lifetime, in the next lifetime or in heaven or whatever. God's going to pay us for all the suffering we've done and sacrifice. No. And a lot of religions teach that. And no, ma'am. Mm-mm. And I love David Goggins and Jocko Willings or whatever. I love them. And sometimes I do love that real sacrificial pain and suffering, but like it's not necessary. It's really not. Of course, I was raised, and I think we all are, that is the way it is. Like the more you suffer, you're going to get rewarded. No pain, no gain. Hello. But the more I learn, and some people don't feel worthy or like they earned it without having pain. And if that's what you like, go for it. No judgment. I used to be that too. I have to earn it or I won't feel worthy of it. And maybe that's how you'll operate. And it'll work for you, and it probably will. But you don't have to suffer. Is action required? Absolutely. But suffering is not. That's a choice. Pain. There's growing discomfort, and then there's pain and suffering. So you decide what it is for you. I'm not here to tell you, right? I'm figuring it out myself every day. It's always changing. And so whatever works for you, if it's working, great. But if it's not working, look at it. Maybe it's time for you to look at who you're listening to, who you're following. Is what you're doing really working? Is how you're feeling really producing the results you want in life? Are you at peace? Okay. So most people secretly cherish the delusion that this is not a law-ruled universe and that somehow they will be able to get something for nothing. Look again at the word harbored, for it reveals the crux of your situation. All kinds of things come into your consciousness. You can't help seeing and hearing and even sometimes thinking these destructive things. She's right. So all kinds of things come into our mind. Boop, 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 intrusive thoughts, everything from the outside world. All kinds of things come into our conscious thinking mind. And destructive things mostly. But you can refuse to harbor them. Think about a harbor and a ship that comes in. They can refuse to harbor that ship. They go, there is no room here. We do not want your ship to be docked and tied to this harbor. We do not want to hold this ship in our harbor. Think about that as thoughts. All kinds of thoughts will come in from your friends, family, even people you trust. How does that thought or that idea make you feel? You don't have to harbor it. You don't have to hold it. You don't have to entertain it. You have a choice. No, thank you. Again, Any thoughts that come in as feedback or information that you need to take action on, of course, take action. This is not to be irresponsible and not be normal and take care of everyday things. But that is very rare when we have thoughts that call for us to take action on, to be honest. 95%, I don't know what it is. Just think about yourself. Usually we are in our normal routine. If you're listening to me right now, you're somewhere with Wi-Fi and a connection and enough food to eat, probably. We live pretty comfortable lives, pretty stable lives, or we can get the help we need if you are listening to this right now. We do not live in a place of survival physically. We have all of our basic needs met. Emotional needs, that's another story, okay? But that's what we're learning here. What is causing us to remain emotionally dysregulated? If you're above the age of 18, or even I would say 25, we're adults. Yes, it's unfortunate that we might have been in situations where we were taken advantage of or victims. Life is not fair. And it's beyond our understanding at times, but it's up to us to find a way to understand it and to figure it out and heal ourselves, because no one's going to do it for us. And that is, we can either remain in victim mode, which to the outside world, some people are victims, especially children. But what are we going to do with it now that we're adults? What are we going to do with it? Are we going to sit in the basement forever and have people commiserate with us and agree with us that we're right? Because we are, but are we happy? Now what? How are we going to heal? How are we going to use our pain to help the world and help others, help ourselves and heal? We don't have to harbor the things that come in. We have a choice. Listen to the feedback that we need to take action on, but most of the time it's just chatter. It's just garbage. It's just crap. It's just drama. It's just fear mongering from the outside world or from inside our world. All kinds of things come in, mostly destructive things, but we can refuse to harbor them. That's when I say, not today, Satan. Not today. Nobody got time for that. Thank you for sharing. Goodbye. No. Carla, you can't look away from that. Yes, I can, and I will. Oh, you think I'm irresponsible? That's your opinion. Thank you for sharing. I'm not going to harbor that thought. I have another video coming out about toxic empathy. Ooh, you're going to want to watch that. I'm excited to make the video. Maybe I'll do it later today. Anyways, keep an eye out for that. Toxic empathy. It's about the news and the world. Okay. All kinds of things come in. We don't have to harbor them. The things that get down into your subconscious mind, or you get the feels for it, you get triggered by it. The things that get down into your subconscious mind come out into your life. The things that get down into your subconscious mind, the things you get emotionally involved with, the thing you catch feelings for, good or bad, the things that irritate you, the things that trigger you, come out in your life. But remember, nothing can get into your subconscious mind except as you dwell upon it and encourage it. Somebody might be a right ding dong, a big bad baby, big terrible person, jerkety jerk jerk. But if you let yourself get triggered by them, create boundaries and protect yourself as much as you can. And I know some situations are really difficult, especially if you're like younger and you're living in family situations. Earplugs, space, going for walks outside, sleeping more, taking naps, like truly protect yourself in any and every way that you can and get help and reach out. Get out of your comfort zone. I know it's hard. It could be like betraying people, right? Like it's like when you're in an abusive relationship and you love them and you're scared to leave and you're in danger. But like if it's at that point, like, you need to take that action, right? That's really not what I'm talking about. But those can be serious situations, right? But again, if you're listening to this, you have access to Wi-Fi and a signal, you can call someone for help, right? And it's hard, but just know that your emotional safety is above all else. Because if you're not safe within, you're not safe without. You're putting yourself in a very vulnerable situation. So the things that get down into your subconscious mind come out in your life. So why would you get emotionally involved in triggers and get all upset about what someone else is doing? And then you suffer the consequences for their bad behavior because you just can't let it go. It's like a dog with a bone, I don't let it go. Like, Carla, just drop it. No, they're a jerk and I want everybody to know about it. Just let it go. I'm suffering for holding on to that. Let them, right? Doesn't Mel Robbins have a book called Let Them? They want to be a butthole? Let them. They want to be disrespectful? Let them. I won't be around them. They want to be rude? Let them. They want to use drugs? Let them. Right? If we're not responsible for them, if they're adults, right? That's the hardest thing. Trust me, I've had loved ones and you gotta let them. There's nothing I can do. I cannot. Of course, I'll do everything, call the police, try to interventions and all that, but like, I mean, let them. Do all you can to protect them. But at the end of the day, people make their own decisions. And it's sad. It's really sad. All right, let's read a couple more sentences. So the things that get down into your subconscious mind come out into your life. But remember, nothing can get into your subconscious mind except what you dwell upon and encourage and entertain and talk about and gossip about and post about and scroll about and follow and like and subscribe. But how can I start forward now from this very spot? How do we start right now? To begin to go uphill in life instead of down, to get the help of your own powers and those of other people in your uphill climb, it is only necessary for just now that you turn around. Just turn around right now. Other things will come later, but for today, this will be enough. It will not be necessary for you to make a great showing or scale a peak or two today. So you don't got to climb mountains today. Relax. In fact, I will ask you not even to think of the twists and turns and detours you may imagine that lie ahead. To get the price for anything you want, gently open your mind to the idea that you can get it somewhere, somehow. She's saying just entertain that maybe you might be able to get it. Just turn your attention there, no matter what's going on. Just turn your attention to what if things could be different? I'm willing to see it differently. Willingness is everything. Do not dwell upon the things which just now seem to stand in the way of your getting it. A lot of times I've been there. Trust me. I know, I feel you when we are just so upset about something and it is just consuming our mind. If we can't change the state because it's so full and so many ships are being harbored there, we ain't got no room for a good thought. Change your emotional state. Go out for a run, go out for a walk, start watching a movie, start watching something that changes, just escaping. Try to do adaptive coping, right? Not maladaptive. Don't be drinking and doing drugs and doing things that give you that immediate hit in a negative way that has later, negative consequences. But start getting busy. Go build a doghouse. I don't know. Just take your mind off something. Do a task. Help someone, right? Take your mind off of it. Manual labor, doing something physical. Go do the dishes, go do the laundry, go for a run, go help someone. Yeah, go rake the leaves and vacuum clean. Put some music on. Just distract yourself in a positive, adaptive way. All right. So just think that you can get it somehow, somewhere. Do not dwell upon the things that stand in your way. In doing this, it is not necessary to dump out by main force the old, weak outlooks that you have been harboring up to now. So in doing this, it's not necessary to get rid of all the nasty things. It is a law that two things cannot occupy the same place at the same time. So turning your attention toward the good thought drives out the bad. If you've seen, and we'll end there for today, we'll pick up back tomorrow. But if you've seen there's a lot of great visuals and videos. They have the cup and they put the coffee grinds or dirt, and then they pour the clean so the water's all nasty in the cup. It's dirty. So think of that as our mind. If you have this cup represented your mind and it was so dirty and dark and nasty and filled with gunk, all the nasty ships harboring in our mind, we're so worried. We don't have to get rid of all of the dirt. We just have to pour good, positive water that we just keep it under the faucet and it just cleanses it out. It gets all the nasty dirt out. And then all of a sudden, after we run it for a while and put positive thoughts, it's just going to run out all of the nasty and it'll be clean water. So that's a really great analogy and a visual. So if you feel like there's a lot of muck and dirt and negative ships harbored in your mind right now, don't try to get rid of them. She's saying right now, if that's not what you can do, right? Don't even start there. Just start putting good thoughts in. That's why I put my ear pods in. I always listen to my positive affirmations. I do this, I'm brainwashing myself. The activations app, look that up, y'all. It is so good. Or my Think Up app with my recorded affirmations, or on YouTube. There's so many positive things. Louise Hay, Abraham Hicks. There's so many positive things. Just The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Just reach for anything positive and just keep it in your ear. Even if you don't feel like it, I guarantee you it's going to shift your mood. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to go for my daily run, and I am going to listen. We have our mentorship call today for the Napoleon Hill Institute. I'm really excited to listen to that on my walk. And if you're interested in working with me or interested in joining the mentorship program at the Napoleon Hill Institute, all of the information is below in my description box. And I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. Have a beautiful Tuesday.